Okay, boys and girls, today is September 24th, 2020. Let me actually get my reading notebook out. So, of course, we start with reading every single day. In our reading notebook, of course, we did finish our story, first of all, on My View 4.2. And again, this is for Thunder Rose, page 261. We did finish that. We went ahead and finished it. It was page 275, okay? So please review this. I did tell you all to review the story for homework. And then we went ahead and wrote our STAAR STEM questions like we've done these past few weeks before the test. We go over it. We synthesize what we learned. So for number 1, the reader can conclude that Thunder Rose is brave, confident, strong, and smart. And there's several pages or paragraphs that you can find that in. It doesn't have to be specifically this one. Number 2, the theme of the selection, is courage can overcome. Courage can help you overcome all things, okay? Thunder Rose is a very courageous young woman. She is very brave, confident, and she overcame any struggle or any challenge that came her way. And even if it was through her superpowers that she has with thunder and lightning. Number 3, what does paragraph 16 reveal about Rose? Rose is caring and kind with her animal Tater, okay? So that shows that she has a soft side. There's a soft side to her. She's not so outwardly strong all the ways. She's not that strong-willed person all the time. She can go and become this caring person. In paragraph 35, page 274, what is it mainly about? Well, this paragraph is mainly about Thunder Rose's ability and how she is remembered. She is a hero to all. It's kind of like the concluding paragraph. And this tall tales, again, are very similar to legends. Okay. And then 5 says, what is the sensory language on? I went ahead and changed that. In paragraph 1, page 262, and we set sight and sound were used. I believe it said something like booming thunder and the lightning strikes. It was describing the thunderstorm when Rose was born. So that's what we did for reading. At the end of the day, we did write in our writing and grammar part. And we continued with complete sentences notes, specifically compound subjects and predicates. A compound subject is made up of 2 or more simple subjects. And here I wrote an example. My sister and I were born in Mexico. The compound subject is my sister and I. So who was born in Mexico? My sister and I. Okay? There are 2 nouns. A compound predicate is made up of 2 or more simple predicates. We live and work in the United States. Okay? So we have 2 predicates, also known as maybe 2 verbs. They're not always verbs in the predicates, but for the most part, they are, okay? And then we did some practice. We did some practice here. Number 1, my mom and I are going shopping. Of course, mom and I are the compound subjects. There's 2 nouns, okay? So who's going shopping? Well, my mom and I. Those are 2 people. So that's compound subject. And again, it's usually binded by an and. Not all the time, but in these instances, they will be. Number 2, I love shopping and exercising. Bounded by an and. They're verbs. What do you love? Shopping and exercising. That's the predicate. And so on. We did those as well. So if you haven't written those, go ahead and write them out. Okay. So that was for reading. For our math, our very fun math. Let me see. So week 4, tomorrow we will be taking the test. We did do J on page 90. And again, this is just putting them from least to greatest mass. Okay, so we did that. Again, we wrote our place value chart, and then we put our numbers in there, the ones that were listed here on the top. We put our numbers there, and then we kind of labeled, this is a Brooklyn Bridge, this is a Statue of Liberty, Rockefeller Center, Empire State Building. We start from the left, go on to the right, comparing the numbers. There was a difference in the first number. There's 1, 2, 1, and 1. The ones that were least were, of course, the ones with the 1 in the 10 millions place. And then so on, we would compare the second digit in the millions. We have 3, 1, and 8. Which one is the least from those? It's the 1. So that would be the Rockefeller Center. And then which one is the second least? It's the 3. So then it's the Brooklyn Bridge. And then so on, it would be the Empire State Building. And then the last one, of course, would be the Statue of Liberty, because that's the one that had the 2 in the 10 millionth place. So it's the greatest number. So that would be number 4. And we put that list on the side. And it said, which would come third on the list? The Empire State Building. So we chose H. Okay. So we did that one. Let me see here. We also finished all of page 92. Looks really lengthy, I know, but let me go ahead and just zoom into each one. It's basically the same thing that we've been doing all week. It's just that now there's 9 digits. It goes up to the 100 millions place. So for those of you that are asynchronous, please let me know if you're struggling with anything. I could go ahead and schedule a phone call with you. That way we can go over this together. But those are pretty simple. I didn't see too many of my students struggling. It is a lot to write, though. These are putting them in order from either greatest to least or least to greatest. Again, we always start from the left, comparing the numbers. Okay. And here are G and H. Okay. And then we also did these on page 93. They do take up a lot of time. That's why we didn't do all of them, but they're basically, it's the same skills that we're going over for 6, 7, 3, and 4. So we did do 1, 2, and 5 on page 93. Okay. And again, we always want to think of this as the alligator. We start from the left. We move towards the one that has a different number, which is in the 10,000s. We have the 7 and the 8. Which one is greater? Which one is the alligator going to eat? The 8. So this number, which is the second one, the mouth is going to open up to that side. This looks like an L, so it's the less than sign. Okay. And then we just did number 8 on page 94, which is very similar to what we saw on the other page, comparing the masses of the Brooklyn Bridge, Statue of Liberty, and so on. It's the same process. Place value chart, starting from the left, moving to the right, checking to see which digit is different. Of course, it's in the 10 millions place. That's where they start to be different. This one wants them in greatest to least. The greatest is, of course, the one with the 8, and that was this one, Drake over here, and then it wants the second one on the list, so the second one is this one, 456, that's Sonia's number, which is J. Okay, so that was for math. We did go over the lesson a little bit more. We kind of reviewed on the science fusion with the models. Let me see here. We went ahead and did the wordplay, and I went over the lesson again just so we could reiterate. This is on page 59. They can do this just for practice on the vocabulary words. 59 on Texas Science Fusion. And then for social studies, we did go over, excuse me, my phone is ringing. Okay, for social studies, we did go over, once again, we reviewed Great Plains region. I really wanted them to get a good idea of the content and the vocabulary that is in these 2 lessons. Again, we're going to be testing on page 76 through 83. And there are some videos on the Google Classroom that students can watch just so they could also get a different idea through those visuals, through the online visuals as well. Okay, for science, and then I believe that was it. I just had them try to finish this. Some more of you all did turn it in. But I believe that was it for today. The homework again, practice test for spelling words, and then review Thunder Rose and the notes that we did for that. And of course this, if you haven't finished it, please turn it in. It's either 100 or a 50. I need you all to turn this one in. I will see you all tomorrow for Happy Testing Day.